If adventure has a name, it must be Cereal at Midnight. I'm not going to wear the hat for the... I'm not going to do it. But it's here, just so you know. The hat is here at all times. Guys, I bought a Grail Diary. As seen in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade is what we're talking about. The diary that Henry Jones Sr. had been working on for his whole life, trying to find the Holy Grail, and then he sends it to Indy. I should have mailed it to the Marx Brothers. That's what we're talking about. The Grail Diary. So this is, you can get lots of different versions of this, of the Grail Diary. You can pay as little as $20, which is what I did. It was $25 on Amazon with a 20% off coupon, bringing it down to $20. Up to like $700, maybe even more than that. There are people who are making Grail Diaries like as their business, you know, like they spend weeks or months working on these things, aging them, weathering them. I chose the cheap option just because, I mean, look, I don't have, and people, they're making them themselves. Like, that's the thing. Like, if you want to just make your own Grail Diary, that's an option too. This is going to be an unboxing experience for the $25 version. It's a mixed bag. I mean, I've already opened it and looked at it and flipped through it. It's a mixed bag. We'll experience this together. But first off, like detail wise, it's pretty good. So it comes wrapped in this brown paper, right? And these are not real stamps, but they're close to what the real stamps look like. This is not a real mailing label addressed to Professor Indiana Jones at Barnett College, Hamilton Hall, Grove Avenue, Fairfield, New York. These stamps, Venezia are close to the real thing as seen in the movie, but not the real thing. So I'm going to take the twine off here. I'm going to set it down here. The first thing you're going to, so this is way overstuffed. They give you, the company I bought mine from, who did you buy? Like this is what I've learned. If you buy this on Amazon, you are going to get one of a myriad of different products. Like there's a lot of, again, I think these are coming out of Asia. Like this edition, I think it's coming out of Asia. And it's just the roll of the dice. Like, are your inserts going to look good? Or are they going to look bad? What's your paper quality going to be like? They're all different, which lets me know it's like eBay bootleg, like eBay box sets, like DVD, eBay bootleg box sets and stuff. Like you just never know exactly what you're going to get. So this arrives. The first thing I notice is that it's not the right color brown. The brown in the movie is a really deep, it's like a dark chocolate brown, you know, almost black. So that's wrong right off the bat. Also, they just give you way too much stuff. And like that shouldn't be a complaint, but I don't know if I'm going for like authenticity. This is too much stuff. So when it arrives, this is cool, you know, the strap that you can take off. When it arrives, the Grail is empty, and all these inserts are just sitting on top. Tons and tons of stuff are just strapped to the top here. And they say on the listing for the site, it's like it's like 66, I think, different inserts that you can get. And you will get 33 of them, I think is what it is. So you're not going to get everything that they make, but it's already too much. It's kind of my point. Like, they're already giving you too much. So some of this stuff is cool. Some of this stuff, so you're like, well, I just want what actually comes in the actual Grail Diary, right? Okay, well, that's tricky because there is no actual Grail Diary. The Grail Diary, as seen in the movie, is it's a hero prop, right? They came up with like 30 pages. This is like 200 pages. They came up with about 30 pages and like aged them and weathered them, and then repeated those throughout the book to fill it up, right? So there is no actual, like, this is what it's supposed to be. So that's kind of interesting to me because I don't think there are any repeating pages here. You know, I haven't read every page. I've skimmed through this, and like, I don't know, I'm pretty happy with it. As far as the biggest issue that I have is that this has clearly just been digitally printed by somebody, and I don't know if this is going to show up, but the printing itself, like, it's jagged. It's kind of pixelated. It's a very low quality. You know, I'm not going to say it's a low quality. It's a lower quality of printing. But then I don't know, you guys. They got a lot of cool things in here. Like this is a neat little detail, and like you could just sit and thumb through this. Here's one of the things. Oh, these Army Intel pages. So these probably shouldn't be here, but they're here for Indiana Jones fans. So this is like an Army Intel about the, is this the Ark of the Covenant? Yeah, the Ark of the Covenant, strictly confidential, evidence reports. You know, it's as if Indiana Jones got the Grail Diary from his dad and then just kept adding to it. Look, we got, here's an unused stamp from the cover of the paper. We've got American President lines. This is what is this, a ticket? I don't know if this is a train ticket. It's a $50 ticket, though, from 1905. So, like, the details are pretty cool. You know, like, the details are pretty awesome. It's not, again, like, there is no standard to measure this against. There's no, you know, well, is it like this one? There is no, is it like this one? Because a real one doesn't really exist. White Star lines, United States Mail. So this is going to be our Raiders of the Lost Ark deep cuts. So I don't know, guys. I'm pretty happy with it. What I'm probably going to have to do is weather it myself, and that's going to be tricky. Check this out. So I've seen a lot of people's, so I've been watching some YouTube videos. By the way, Adam Savage made his own Grail Diary. He actually made 10 of them, and his are incredible. But again, he's like printing stuff off of the internet. Like he had found some stuff in one of the Lucasfilm books. There's like 20 pages as you can find. He printed them out and, like, you know, gone through all the work to weather them and to distress them, and like, I'm not gonna do that. It's cool that he would do it. Of course, he's got all the tools and he's got everything he needs for something like that. He built the cover out of leather. He bought a leather jacket at a thrift store and got 9 of the 10 diary the leather for that out of the jackets. He had to go back and buy another jacket to finish the 10th one. This is the Oriana mask, archived in Hangar 51. As you know, it's like, it's really cool. There's some stuff in here that I'm like, okay, that's a little too cute. Okay, like we got sheet music in here. Somewhere in here is the sheet music for the Indian, like for the march, you know, the music itself, and it's like by John Williams, and I'm like, that's too, you've broken the line, you've broken the barrier between fantasy and reality. Like, I need this to feel like it's Indiana Jones's, and there's nothing in here that, you know, like there's no copyright date or anything like that. Like, it just immediately starts. This, first of all, this is, you know, just a white page, but then you turn it, you know, there's like copyright Indiana. There's nothing like that. There's nothing to say, you know, a product of Lucasfilm or you know. But I don't like how clean this is. Sticking all this stuff in it, it already looks a little bit better. Once you overstuff it, it already looks better. But here's the thing. The one in the movie is not overstuffed at all. Like, yeah, it's got stuff in it. Here we go. It's the Temple of Doom. The Grail Diary in the movie is not overstuffed, full of stuff, you know. I do like this. This is the Army Intel on the headpiece for the Staff of Ra. Like, okay, that's cool. But at the end of the day, they've given me, I'm just taking all this stuff out so you can kind of get a good look at the Grail. Okay, so here's cigarette wrapper, looks like. Here's a camel. It's supposed to be a camel wrapper. Some people's inserts just look like garbage. They're printed on like cheap cardboard. They're not even cut. They're not, you know, like they have white borders around them. All right, this is what we're dealing with. This is the Grail Diary. So it's not weathered. Like, I want this to be darker. I want this to be, and I'm beating it up because I want it to look weathered. I'm like, should I leave this out? Like, we got rain coming through. Should I just leave it outside? Not in the rain, but close to the rain. So like the pages get crinkly and it starts to take on that used universe appearance. I don't like this because this has been stretched vertically. It doesn't look quite right. Look, we got some money. We got some money here. This is in the movie. This transfer ticket. This is from the movie. And I think it's pretty accurate to, I don't know, according to Adam Savage, it's pretty accurate to how the real one looks. It just doesn't look used enough. And what I'm worried about, I don't want to yellow the pages. The pages are already yellowed enough. That's fine. What I could do is to distress it myself, is you can take either tea or coffee and just like brush it onto the pages. But I don't know how well this was printed. And I am concerned that if I get these pages wet, that this ink is just going to lift right off. So that's a caution that I need to take. So again, like, how far do I go? And some people are just going to be like, dude, you bought a $20 Grail Diary. Just enjoy it. Just like put it on your shelf and you know it's not real. But I want to take it a little bit further. I want it to be a little bit more authentic than it actually is. For $20, I mean, it's pretty great. It's just that I don't know. See, I'm conflicted about it because it's great. It looks great, like it. I mean, it looks complete. I don't think there's any repeating pages. What does this say? So part of this, like, the printing makes the handwriting font is already a little hard to read. Like Henry Jones Sr.'s handwriting is already a little hard to read, and then when you've got the printing, the cheap print here, it makes it a little bit harder. Jerusalem, the Holy Land, May 11th, 1920. I am constantly crawling through the subterranean vaults beneath the temple of, I don't know. But it's cool that you could just get lost in this thing. I just wish that that the detail was a little bit better. And I wish, I don't know. I guess I'm just going to have to make some tough choices here about this mountain of stuff. This is as thick as the diary itself, right? So I'm just going to have to make some decisions about what stays in here and what doesn't. Maybe they never intended for all that stuff to go in here in the first place. Maybe it is intended to. You choose your own adventure. I don't know. Anyway, this is $25 on Amazon. It's pretty good. I've seen some really terrible ones out there. This is not one guy, like, he opened it up and it separated, like the cover pulled away from the block. It's sewn. It's sewn in there, so that's good. So I don't think that's going to happen here. Surely this is not actually leather. This is going to be like a vinyl or plastic or something. So I was like, could I stain this? Could I stain this darker to make it look more like the one in the movie? But if it's not leather, I don't know that I actually can. I think maybe it just wipe right off of it. Maybe I'll give it a shot. Maybe I'll sand it down. Maybe I'll get some sandpaper out of here. And it's just, I'm probably going to work on distressing it. But I wanted to cover this on camera because as an Indiana Jones fan, I mean, this is pretty fantastic, right? All this Indiana Jones ephemera. By the way, we didn't even talk about the maps. They've got these maps in here. Again, the printing on these is a little subpar, but for the money, what do you want? Like, you want a premium product at a bargain price. That's not really realistic. So I'm pretty happy with it. Here's another map, by the way. Here's the Venice map. Venezia. Venice. All right, I'm going to wrap this one up here, guys. If you want to pick up a Grail Diary through Cereal at Midnight, I'll put a link. I'll put a link to this one, to the one I bought. I'll put the link to this in the description of this video. But I'd like to know if you've bought one of these, what your experience with it is like. Really, what do you think about it? I mean, it's cool. It's really cool. I just want it to be a little more like, could you pre-distress it, please? I don't know. That's asking too much. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this one up. Thank you so much for checking out this video. All the stuff. Subscribe, thumbs ups, leave a comment, and Patreon, YouTube memberships, exclusive video every single week. All right, guys, thanks so much. Take care. Until next time, I will catch you later.